Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. Today I'm going to be giving you part 22 of What If Naruto Got His Memory Sealed Away. Remember to get this one to 200 like as usual, share this with your friends on your social media platform. And also go ahead and check out What If Naruto was given a second chance over on Anime King. And I also post a new episode of What If Naruto Learned the Clone Technique in the beginning on this channel, so go ahead and enjoy that. And later on I'm going to be posting a new episode of What If Naruto was Raised by the Hyuga Clan, so stay tuned for that as well guys. And remember, if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice and you enjoy the videos on both Anime King and Anime King 2, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you all for helping me support. And yeah, without further ado, remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be replying talking back to all of you. So, let's get straight into this new episode. Begin the intro. So, the last spot we left off, Naruto woke up the unconscious Yujito as they were in one of the safe houses that Root had all over the nations. As she was badly hurt, she didn't have the same healing ability as him that was extremely fast, so he patched her up as best as he could. As she got back up, as he placed a seal on her, as he had a sealing tag with chakra in it, as she felt her chakra replenish. As the both of them went out, after being discovered. Meanwhile, Jiraiya was woken up by a toad, as the toad informed him what is going on. As Jiraiya went to the Raikage, as the Raikage sent out Darui, C, and the rest of his operatives to find Yujito, and discover the land of lightning, seeing that they weren't anywhere in the village. Meanwhile, the battle was going on as Naruto and Yujito were clashing against Hidan and Kakazu. As they were clashing as best as they could, they did a combination jutsu that went off in a boom, tearing through the entire landscape. As things were getting rather hectic, Yujito stood no chance against Kakazu. As Naruto tried his best against Hidan, Hidan was fast and precise with his slashes. As they draw them straight over to a corner, as Hidan managed to get some of Naruto's blood and place him under his curse, he stabbed himself. Naruto trapped Kakazu in a lightning field. As Naruto told Yujito to run, as she told him she couldn't, but he told her to run and get out of here now. As he had already told her that when he tells her to run, she must. So she headed off as she met up back with her friends. As C was healing her and said that it was better her than the Konoha kid. So they should just get out of here right now and get her back to safety, but she hit C away. She was going to save Naruto no matter what after what he did for her. But Kakazu caught up with the group. Naruto went through a brutal stabbing and cuts all over his body as Hidan kept on ripping himself up to make Naruto feel pain, but Naruto pushed through it all. With Kakazu gone, Hidan realized he was outgunned, as Naruto decided to show him the full force and that he is nothing, as he tear apart Hidan's defense and beat Hidan down, slicing off Hidan's head as he sealed it into a scroll. As Naruto came back to the scene, he knocked away Kakazu as the both of them started battle. The both of them went into a fury of attacks as the mass went after Yujito and her friends, as Yujito was knocked out, saving her friends by using Nibi form that was hit by a violent attack. As they tried their best to protect her, but then the Raikage and Jiraiya arrived as they crushed the remaining mass. Kakazu was still fighting off against Naruto, as Jiraiya told the Raikage not to intervene in this one. Let the kid do it himself, let him know that he can do it. As Naruto performed a hand sign that let the person around him feel the same fatigue that he has been feeling. And seeing that Kakazu didn't have the resource of chakra that Naruto had, he felt extremely weak. As Naruto started to beat the living crap out of him, seeing that they were on the same level now. Forming a Rasengan, Kakazu would only collapse on his knees and Naruto drive it right through his heart, destroying his final heart. As he collapsed down, as Jiraiya told him to walk it off. As Kurama said that Jiraiya is on the list again, seeing that he just came off the list but he's back on it. The list of people you want to eat. So yeah guys, so it's basically as we left off. You guys can switch across the place and check it out for yourself. So what is will begin this new episode. After the little conflict with Kakazo and Hidan has been settled, Jiraiya made sure that Naruto got treatment for his wounds back at Komo. And of Yujito, it seems that the worst damage that she suffered was the injury in her hands when a metal rod was dragged through it to pin her to the wall. She didn't suffer any permanent nerve damage, but it was advised that she didn't train until further notice. As Jiraiya tried to examine Naruto's blade, but he could not touch it because it cut his hand with wind chakra. That made Jiraiya even more intrigued, as Jiraiya was now kicking back as he watched Naruto try to escape, but it was futile. Apparently, they got used to dealing with Jinchurikis. Seeing that Killer Bee went to the hospital a lot of time and he tried to escape as well, but they were able to keep him there. Even stepping out of bed set off an alert, as they came in and forcefully put him back, and the head doctor was a woman that glare, that could freeze most people on point. Yes, after the first day, Naruto was a good boy. As we currently have Naruto sitting down in the hospital, I never thought I would find something that I hate more than Konoha Hospital, but now Kumo Hospital is pushing it for sure, he said. Yujito rolled her eyes from a nearby chair. Oh, get over it, Naruto-kun, she said. They will let you out when you're good and ready. I am good and ready. I was ready the day after I was admitted, and it has been 3 days now. Hospitals are for the dead and dying. Not someone like me, he said. I can't believe knocking out that orderly and transforming into him didn't let me get out. Well, Killer Bee tried that 6 years ago, said Yujito. Of course he did, Naruto said. He then lightly glared at her as she was dressed in her own clothing. So how did you get out? Well, all I had beside the bust of ribs was a few burns and a messed up hand. But you had all kind of torn muscles in your legs and your arms. How did you even tear the muscles anyway? Naruto glared at his blade. That was over to the corner. That bastard sword I travel with me. It is even more trouble than it's worth. Well, sometimes. How am I supposed to train with it when after a while it ripped my body apart, just using it? Oh, just tough it up, you big baby, she said. We just beat the Akatsuki and here you are complaining about your blade. It's time for you to relax. Getting yourself stressed out will do you no good, she said. Yeah, no good, Naruto said. No good like your bum hands. What did you just say, Scarface? Getting beaten up by your orderlies and your sensei isn't enough. You want me to stomp on you too? I am bored, Naruto said. I haven't seen anything but white walls for days, and I'm good enough to leave. Since I can't leave, I'll have to have you keep me company, Yuji-chan, my lovely entertainment. Your entertainment, am I? And lovely you say, she said, a smirk. Naruto shrugged as he held on to her wrist. It is what it is, he said. She moved her chair closer to him, as she moved her face closer as well. And what makes you think I'm here to entertain you? Maybe I'm here for my own fun. Well, Naruto looked down at himself. I don't see what be so entertaining about me right now. Oh, you wouldn't, Mr. Paper Thin Gown. As she went down near to his ear, it's a shame. We weren't in the same room while I was in mine. She pulled away once she felt he released her wrist as she saw the look on his face. As she chuckled a bit. I just had to get you back for all the stupid things you said in the cave. Don't be mad, Naruto-kun. That wasn't fair, Naruto said. I thought you were serious. After our little kissing session before we fight Hidan and Kakazo. Speaking of that, why did you do it? Why did you fight for me, risk your life for me against them? They gave you the option to take me, but you didn't. You'd have been fine by now if you just let them take me. What kind of stupid question is that, he said. I'm your friend, after all. I will protect you as much as anyone else. I would never let them take you. Fighting, when you didn't need to. It would have crippled your village, military presence. If you had been taking you the... She stopped talking as a pillow hit her in the face. Stop talking these nonsense, Naruto said. I just gave you the reason. Being one of my precious people, I would fight for you. Anywhere, anytime, no matter what or who against. And I needed to make sure that you weren't caught. It's just that simple. The entire reason why me and Eroseni came in the first place was to set up an alliance between Kumo so that we could watch over the Akatsuki. And I also wanted to make sure that you were safe, he said. She looked at him long and hard, trying to find any doubts or any line, but she saw nothing. He was perfectly calm and relaxed. She then got up as she walked over, as she hovered over his bed. As he looked at her, I told those guys that you did it because you were a sweetie. Yeah, he said. I'm your hero and all that crap. How could I just let you get killed like that without trying to stop it? She then came down and kissed him right on the lips. As she broke the kiss and stepped back. What was that for, he asked. That was for all of the effort it took to get me back. She then kissed him again. That was for fighting as hard as you did for me. She then placed one final long kiss as she had to climb onto the bed. And that was for me, she said. She then extended her fingernail, and also, she scratched aside his face. Hey, what's that for? That was for making me run away when you were in trouble. Don't ever do that again. Understood? As Naruto nodded. Good boy, she said. As she came back down and kissed him again. As this one was longer. It was a full makeout session before the door was slide open. Yo, Mr. 9, I got here as fast as I heard. About those guys that kicked your ass. It's Killer Bee Sama singing you a tune, hoping for you to get well soon. As he failed to notice that Naruto was sitting up, trying to hide something under the blanket. And Yujito was over to the side, as her face, blushing, and both of them slightly panting. As Naruto snapped out of his trance, B, what the hell? You know you knock before entering a room, right? Oh, I don't knock, Mr. 9, said Killer B. Clearly, said Yujito, glaring at him like he would just explode in the fire at that minute. Killer B sensei, you need to slow down and quiet down, we're in the hospital, said Karu, as she came in the room along with Amoy and Samui. As Karu blinked, seeing Naruto up and about, so you're finally able to take visitors, Naruto. Well, your hospital isolated me until today, so yeah, not my fault. Yes, that is how they are, Killer B said, as he remembered him time trying to break out over and over. You're talking like this place is prison or something, Amoy asked. It is, Naruto said. They won't let me out. It's been 3 days. I'll give you all 10,000 Ryu if you help me get out of here. As Amoy and Karu went wide eyes as Samui gave him a questioning look. Where did you get that kind of money to spend on something like this? As Naruto smirked inside his head, he was still counting his money from the bounty on sorcery and his high-ranking mission that he went on. And he didn't have any other expensive than food, and Hamako handled those from the money that she get assisting at the academy when he wasn't there. And he was already planning, he was going to move out of the apartment when he got back. Hell, with the money he's going to make off of Hidon's head, he was going to be loaded than before. Damn, he didn't get Kakazu's corpse. That's not going to be necessary, Brat, said Jerry as he walked in the room. You're good to go. As he threw a bundle at Naruto, it was Naruto clothes and possessions. It's time we get out of here and go back to Konoha. Finally! Took long enough, Naruto said as he started going through his things. He didn't stop. Can I get a minute here, he said. Aw, said Yujito, you don't want me to stay, Naruto-kun. Well, if you stay, then changing is the last thing I'll get to do in here. What the hell, Erosanin? Naruto asked as he saw Jiraiya writing down his notepad. Oh, get over it, kid. I've been using your life to brainstorm ideas for my new book since, right after Snavi. Lately, you have been giving me a lot to write about. I didn't see you becoming a ladies' man. I'm not a ladies' man, Naruto said. Liar, said Yujito. Yeah, said Karu, blushing slightly. I remember the last time you were here. You're full of crap on that one. As someone rubbed their shoulders, is there any chance you can give me another massage, like the last one, before you go, she asked. As Jiraiya was scribbling away in his notepad, laughing pervertly. Oh, don't let me burn that thing, Naruto said. Oh, shut up and put on your clothes. We have to get back and tell Snavi about the successful mission. Naruto blinked. Success? But didn't he turn us down? Well, after your little stunt and after what the Akatsuki did, he figured there should be some kind of measure in place. So congrats, kid. Your little hero act brought her on another alliance. You seem to be doing that a lot these days. That's good, Naruto said. Now, Jiraiya, Killer B, Amoy, you guys can get the hell out so I can change, can you? The girls can stay though, he said as he jumped off his bed. He heard them walking towards the door, but then he felt presence in the room. Turning back around, he saw the three of them standing there. You know I was kind of joking about that, he said. But the three of them just looked at him. Time skip at Konoha. Good work, you two, said Snavi. At least that is one more village we can have on our side against Akatsuki along with the San. Yeah, 3 of the 5 villages is good. Now, don't you have something to discuss with the kids, said Jiraiya. Oh yes, said Snavi, as she reached into her decks and pulled out some papers. I just need you to sign some things for your identification. Naruto shrugged and signed the papers as he handed back Snavi the pen. So what was that for anyways? I never had to sign anything before. Well, congratulations, brats. You've been registered for your promotion to Jonin. As he looked at her, You're not messing with me, right? You're finally promoting me. Why now, he asks. Well, politics, brat. I would have promoted you sooner, but you need ample backing from many high-ranking sources. And things are really changing for you these days, she said, with a smile. Way to go, Jiraiya said. I knew they couldn't keep you on that rank forever. So, he then looked at Snappy. Are we supposed to head out straight to the next village? No, said Snappy. Naruto is on a probation period as a Jonin. He needs to get 3 more missions under his belt. Probation? We have probation, said Naruto. While ranks higher than Chunin have probation, said Jiraiya. We have a large population of ninjas. So this is that the best of best can stay at the pack, you know? Smaller villages don't have probation since they need all of their elite ninjas for showing. But Konoha ninjas are already seen as the outright best. So, we simply make sure of that. You'll be fine, said Snazzy. Just work the way you always do and things should go smoothly. You have earned this rank. Oh, speaking of stuff I earned, Naruto pulled out a scroll out of his pocket. As he unsealed it, as it was a poof. You blonde son of a bitch! I knew that you would let me out. Now where are you? I'm going to rip your throat out with my teeth. So get down here and fight me like a man instead of like a little bitch. Snazzy looked at the head on her decks. You didn't kill him, she said. Oh, I killed him. But he can't die. I mean, can't you see? His head is separated but he's still alive. But we could always, he done kept on cursing. Shut the hell up, Naruto said. Snazzy shook her head. I thought I see everything possible in this world. But then you drop something like this in my lap. You live a charmed life, brat, she said. As Snazzy started to pour some sake. As Naruto took the bottle from her and took a drink. As he tried to pass it to Jiraiya, but Snazzy grabbed it back. Shizune, Snazzy called out. Can I keep that, Naruto asked. Why in God's name would you want to keep that? Asked Jiraiya. Oh, Himako could use some company when I'm not home. And he would make a great pet. I'll even defang him so he can't bite or anything. Hell, I can even interrogate him for some good stuff on Akatsuki. That is actually a good idea. The interrogation part, not the pet part. What's wrong with you? As Shizune walked in, Shizune, can you take this to Anbu HQ until I can get a hold of Ibiki or Inoichi? Shizune walked closer as he saw a scroll stuffed into the head on the decks. Stuffed right into his mouth so he couldn't really talk good. Her eyebrow twitched several times before she passed out. As the group turned, did Shizune just faint, Naruto asked, as he snapped his finger in front of her several times. As Snazzy sighed. Time skip. Another bowl, Naruto said. Just keep them coming. As the old man simply chuckled at his customer. A pair of hands were placed over his eyes. I knew that I would find you here, Naruto-sama. Why didn't you come home first? Naruto smiled as he removed the hand from his eyes as Himako sat beside him. Hi, Himako-chan, he said. Anything interesting happened while I was gone? You didn't burn the place down by testing a seal, did you? Of course not, she said. All I really did was outfit your kit with some seals. And that's pretty much all I did. It's only been a week, you know? Oh, and by the way, a bowl was placed in front of him. You're in trouble, said Himako. Naruto stopped eating and looked at her with noodles hanging from his mouth. Huh? A small laugh came from her before she started. I wonder, where should I start? Well, you keep on not telling people where you're going or if you're leaving. And that always leads me to tell them that you're not here. And they don't really like that. Like who, Naruto asked. I mean, I was only gone for a week as you said. So who could... Teiwaya stand first of all, said Himako. Then there was Uncle about the cursed seal, but I handled that appointment in your stead. Until Teiwaya came over to try to offer her assistance. Until the story about your exploits got out. And Naruto asked. Well, she looked away. Everyone that knows about you knows about it. I'm sorry, Naruto-sama, she said. As Naruto looked over at the chef to see the man turn his head and whistle innocently. Wait, when you say everyone... Boss! As Naruto turned his head, as he saw Konohamaru, Udon, and Mogi, as Himako looked out and waved at them innocently, as he waved back. Huh, so you guys are Janins now, Naruto said, seeing their headbands. Yeah, and I'll show you how much stronger I am now. Sexy jutsu, he said, as he transformed to a beautiful nude brown-haired woman. But nothing happened. Huh. Man, I haven't used that move in forever, Naruto said. As Naruto then noticed the chopsticks were right in front of him, Himako feeding him. As he took the food. Oh, thanks, Himako, he said. Don't talk with your mouth full, she said. As Konohamaru collapsed down and reverted back to normal. as the two of his friends help him up. Damn it. I guess it wouldn't work on someone who invented the move and can see it whenever he wants. A wicked smile then came on Naruto's face as he placed the money on the counter. You know how I couldn't train with you guys? Because you weren't ninjas yet, he said. Well, that restriction is gone. The kids turned to run, but Himako placed seals in Naruto's hand as Naruto slapped them onto the kids as he went through hand sign. Sealing technique. Paralysis, he said. Good work, Himako, Naruto said. How long do I have before it wears off? The seal isn't attuned to you personal, so I'll say about 2 minutes. I doubt they can stop their chakra flow that quickly, so yeah, she said. Can't get into the forest of death that quickly. I guess I have to work them out as a training field. You guys want to get stronger, right? But they said nothing, as they couldn't move or talk. As Naruto simply smiled. Don't beat them up too bad, master. I'll be back soon. I want to talk to you anyways, Himako, Naruto said. See you later. As he went off. Naruto didn't really beat them up, as he knew that Ebisu was their teacher, teaching them trap like tree climbing and teamwork drills and all that. That wasn't going to help them in the long run. They needed actual training. They needed to get stronger. He made clones and actually work with them on things that play to their strengths, as Konoha was a heavy hitter, so he'd teach him. And soon enough he'll be able to teach him on ninjutsu and all that. But for right now, he's showing him how to enhance his strength and punch harder and kick harder. And he helped Udon with setting up traps. And also the boy was liking Fuinjutsu and seeing that there weren't many people with Fuinjutsu. Naruto decided to start the boy out early, as it was hard to teach Mogi because he didn't know Genjutsu to teach her. But she took to his blade rather nicely. Asked him about it, so he showed her a basic stance. And he told her if she could got better stance on her own, and if she learned and show him her improvements in 2 weeks, he'll buy her an actual sword. After a few hours of working with them, Konoha was happy, as he wished Naruto was promoted a long time ago so he could work with them this long time. Now Naruto was on Ebisu's level, yes, he was joining as well, as Naruto told them anytime you want to find them, they can just find him or Himako. As the kids went off, well, just look at you, Naruto, said Kakashi, as he arrived in the training field. Maybe you should think on taking a genuine squad of your own, if that is how you work with them. No way, Kakashi-sensei. I just like those kids. I think they're gonna be good. But I can't just take a team like that, Naruto said. And from hearing that from you, I am assuming that you heard that I got promoted. I hope that Ebisu isn't pissed about me stealing his team for a couple hours. Kakashi nodded. Who do you think put in an endorsement for you to move up? I may not look at that time, but I'm very influential. Ah, you're right, Nerd says, and he started to walk back to town. Walking around every time with your face buried in arrow-singing perverted book don't make you look that influential, no offense. Says you, from what Uncle said about you and Tiawa girl. Damn it, Uncle. Naruto cut Kakashi off. She just spread it around to spite me after she got sent back on that mission that we were on. She better know I'm gonna get her back later. You know you're kind of in some trouble. After that news broke, there were some people wanting to speak with you, said Kakashi. Himako said that too, but she never elaborated on it. What the hell does that mean, Kakashi-sensei? Oh, it's not my place to say, said Kakashi, as the man was giggling to himself. Once you get off probation, I should set up a party for Konoha's newest joining. Time skip. Himako was applying a seal to Naruto, but she didn't like doing this because it was actually burning his skin. But he didn't even flinch or anything, as he was telling her about his time at Kumo. And when he talked about Yujito, she felt a twinge of something inside of her. Lucky enough she was finished with the burning part, so she wouldn't mess up and do anything that would hurt him even more. Good work, Hamako, said Naruto as he looked into the mirror. So what was the thing again? You were pretty insistent on putting on me. It is a simple seal of communication between you and I, Naruto-sama. As she brought down her kimono, as she had the same seal on her. It would allow you and I to communicate by channeling chakra in sharp bursts into the other person corresponding tattoo. She then tested out on him as he felt it, so it's like Morse code. Okay, that's great. He then noticed that the small smile she ever had on was gone. What's wrong, Himako? He asked. She opened her mouth 3 times but she closed it back. She then sighed. Fine, she said to herself. I allow your relationship with someone like Teiwaya-san because she knew you longer than I did, and I felt like that would be a good thing. But what is this with this Kumo girl? Yujito? Oh, she's interested in me, but we didn't do anything, Himako. Well, we didn't have sex. But you were going to. That is where your story was going, before Killer Bee-san interrupted you. Well, maybe that was where it was going to go, but what does it matter in the end, Naruto asks. Himako looked down. Why do you think I've stayed for so long, Master? Why do you think I enjoy doing so much for you and helping you? I even sleep in your bed with you all the time. Do you really dislike me that much? As Naruto blinked at her mood, I figured that you were just one big sweetheart that I couldn't convince otherwise. And no, I love you, Himako-chan. I don't know what I did for you to do so many things for me. She shook her head. You don't love me. Not the way that I wish you would at least. As she stood up and walked closer to him. You're the most important person in the world to me, Naruto-sama. You're the only man that I'll give my life for if need be. I know you tell me not to live for my own dreams, but I found something I want to live my life for. And that would be? She closed the distance and placed herself against his body. All I want is you, Naruto-sama, she said. I just want to see you happy. Not only that, but I want to be the one to make you happy. Without you, I don't know what would have happened to me if I didn't got out of cryogenic freezing without you. But you need me, and that's made me feel wonderful. Naruto sighed as he held her. I can't marry you, Himako. I said that repeatedly. To more than you, he said. Real relationships just won't work for me. I don't want you to marry me, she said. And from the way you reacted when you first met me, nothing about our relationship is normal. She cut him off. I just want to know that you care for me. Because I really do love you, honestly. As Naruto held her chin, as he tilted her face up to face him, I already told you I love you, didn't I? I don't mean like that, Master, she said. Naruto pulled her close and kissed her on the lips, as she nearly went limp in his arms. Oh, you didn't? Are you sure, he asked. Because I think that was the kind of love you wanted to hear from me. As her eyes were quivering to think this was some kind of a trick. Can I kiss you? Please? You never had to ask me if you want to do that, Naruto said. Since the day you arrived at Konoha, you're more than a servant to me, and I would do anything to make you happy. As she wrapped her arms around him and kissed him in a rather passionate manner. As he lifted her up and brought her over to the couch. As he broke the kiss, alright, we need to talk about stuff. I don't care, she said. I don't want to talk. As long as you love me, Master. I can't not love you, Naruto said. I can't not love anyone. I don't have it in me to turn people down for some reason. Can you believe that? I'm supposed to be a killer, he said. I know, she said. That is why people like me and Teiwaya-san like you. Probably why Yujiro-san like you too. If you care about someone, you won't let them down. But if anyone hurts someone close to you, you destroy them. That is very reassuring. Yeah, I'm the meanest, nicest guy in the entire world. She pulled him back down into a kiss. He said that she didn't have to ask, right? Time skip. At the Hokage's tower, as Jiraiya and Tsunade were drinking in the office. Hey, I'm heading back out to follow up a lead. When, she said. You know we still need you and Naruto for the mission, right? We still need you to head to Kirin. We should give them a little more time to bolster their rankings before we try with them. Possibly after the next Chunin exams if I were to give them a time frame. As she gave him a look of disbelief. Hey, I know enough about politics. I am doing this ally thing, right? Alright, she said. So when do you plan on leaving on this mission of yours? Let me rest up a bit from this one and get word from my network operative and I'll be good. It should be a month or so. But just so you know, I'm going to take Naruto with me, so have his schedule cleared up, okay? Why do you want to take him with you? Asked Navi. Well, a few reasons. But anyway, can you do that for me? He should be done with his probation period in a month or two, shouldn't he? Come on, please, Haim, he said. Alright, fine. When he's all set with his new responsibilities, you can take him with you again. Both of you are already bad luck, and sending both of you at the same time is just begging for trouble. Yeah, you would know about bad luck, would you? He said. As a tick mark appeared on her head. Oh, come on, you know I love you, Haim, he said. Now come on and show me how much you love me. As Jiraiya was sent sailing right through the office doors. I love you that much, pervert, she said. I know you did, his voice said from a distance. Time skip. Naruto was sitting in the shade of a branch. As he was at the main gate, he was going to be leading his first team as a Jonin. As he was wearing his flap jacket and his black long-sleeve muscle shirt. Himako, who was relishing her position as a prime woman in his life, well, more or less by default, she was quick to give him a goodbye kiss. When he left for the mission that morning, after that point, Teiwaya came out and claimed him as well, as she kissed him as well. Naruto was surprised because he thought that she would be pissed about the little escapade. Oh well, it was time to get to work. You're punctual, as usual, Sai, Naruto said. As Sai appeared. Looking forward to work with you, he said, Senpai. This certainly makes things easier now, doesn't it, said Sai. Yeah, now I can just act like we met on this mission and hit it off and became friends. Well, you should get used to it, Naruto Senpai, because from now, I'm a permanent fixture on your squad for the foreseeable future. As Sai then pulled out his notebook and started to draw. As he waited for the rest of the team, as Naruto started to laugh, what's so funny? You might be pushing away all your emotions, but you still have a coping method for everything that we do, right? I don't understand. Your notebook, Naruto said. What you're doing right now? I don't understand, Sai said, looking at his notebook. As Naruto jumped down and took the notebook from Sai and flipped through it. You draw more than just to fight with. Sai nodded as Naruto handed him back the notebook. That's your thing. Drawing is what keeps you from cracking like an egg. And they're the only link to your emotion that you have. And to prove my point, give me that for the rest of this mission. As Sai looked at Naruto, before handing Naruto his notebook. As Naruto took it and then gave Sai back his notebook. I thought you were going to take it away. Why give it back? Sai asked. Nah, I didn't want it. I knew no matter what it meant to you, you were going to hand it over because I was the one that told you to give it. All I needed to see was that little flash of hesitation you did before handing it over. That would be a normal thing to other people, but the guys like you who Danzo train, that's exceptional. I'm starting to get through to your emotions, Naruto said. I fail to see how you being able to see through my emotions a good thing, said Sai. It means my training is a failure and I need to be conditioned again. No you don't, you're my liaison to Danzo Jiji. So you need to be functional in social situations, or else you'll be really suspicious. How else are we supposed to work together if I can't even get you to hold together in a public forum? Then I will simply have to take notes, I said as he pulled out a smaller notebook. You are my senpai, and you have more experience. Sure, why not, Naruto said. We will have to consider this conversation another time, said Sai. I believe the rest of them are here. Alright, let's do this, Naruto said, as he headed off. Moments later. Hello, Tintin, a cheerful Sakura said. Well, the fact that you and I are the only one that are here. And also, that middle-aged man over there with the glasses freaking out like something's wrong. With that crew all around him. Before Sakura could say anything. Hello Sakura, hello Tenten-chan. Meet Sai, he will be working with us on this one. As Sai nodded. You guys are ready to do this thing. As Sakura pleasantly greeted Naruto with a wave. Hi Naruto, congratulations on your promotion. She looked him over, so you're the joining on this mission. You're pretty young for it, aren't you? Well, everyone has to grow up sometimes, Naruto said. I mean, Neji's a jonin. And he's only 1 year older than us, right Tenten? As he looked over at Tenten, but she looked away. As Naruto's sweat dropped, so she's one of the people who want to talk to me, isn't she? Alright, let's get this show on the road, Naruto said. Where's the Sandia guy that hired us? We can't leave yet. The man that was upset came over as he clutched on to Naruto's vest. The entire reason we need to escort Yuki, Fujikaze, isn't here. She's missing. Sakura gasped. That is who this is meant to protect? The movie star? I've seen all the Princess Gale films. Naruto heard of her. She was famous. He gently pushed the man off. Well, this mission is starting. Great, isn't it? Sai, Sakura, you two search for Yuki, and I'll send a clone with you in case you or me and Tenten found it. As everyone nodded, as Sai and Sakura went off as Naruto held onto Tenten's arm, keeping her from running off. What are you doing, Naruto? She said. We have to find her. Naruto noticed her snappish tone and how she didn't call him Naruto-kun anymore. As he simply made the hand sign for clones and created 3 dozen and sent them out around the village. As he gestured for her to follow him, as he waited for his clones to get any feedback on Yuki, the location. He could feel Tenten's eyes on him, but when he turned, she looked back down. You want to talk while we wait, Tenten, he said. He kept the Chan off her name. Maybe he could get her to snap and tell him what's wrong. I don't think that we need to talk, Naruto, she said. I think I know everything without even hearing a single word from you. Naruto sighed. This wasn't something she would set aside for the remaining of the mission. And if they get in a fight, he need your mind on the mission, not on anything else. As he stopped in front of her and held onto her hand. Alright, I was going to wait until you tell me yourself. But seeing that we're going on something dangerous, well, kind of. I can't hold off. Now tell me, what's wrong? What did I do? As Tenten locked eyes with him. What happened to call me Tenten-chan, she said. Or did you drop that? Once. You did it with your neighbor. As Naruto looked at her. What happened between me and Teiwaya-chan is between us. And why does it bother you? And I stopped calling you Chan because you're acting all pissy and you dropped the con from my name. She took a deep breath. I was starting to like you a lot, Naruto-kun. The month that we did the mission patrol, it was the best mission I ever had. Everything that we did was so sweet and it made me think that you were into me. Naruto could see where this was going. I do like you, Tenten-chan. As he looked around to see people looking at them both. Can we talk about this some other time? She glared at him a bit. I promise. We'll talk about this later, he said, I swear. But we have to work. One of my clones found in UK, and they're bringing her to the gate as we speak. As Naruto was cursing in his mind, she liked him too. Man, why this had to happen? Why? Just why? This came by the worst time. He could only hope that this mission was smooth and nothing too dangerous happened, so they could get this over with and talk. I wonder if it's just me, or did Snally did this on purpose? Nah, she could know that, could she? Naruto thought. A few minutes earlier, with one of Naruto's clones, as he arrived at the bar and went inside, as he saw Yuki down in shots. This kid again? Why do you keep coming after me, she said, as her cheeks were a bit pink, as she was under the influence. Because it's my job and I'm not really into failing missions. I'm supposed to escort you to the land of snow and get done with it. But you tried to mace me and run off, and I wouldn't try that again, because the first time failed, so the second time won't do anything. She glared at him. Oh, what did a kid like you know about life anyway, she said. As Naruto chuckled, oh lady, you have no idea, he said. Now come on, let's go. You can't let down your fans. Kid, acting's a big fake. It is just a rather dirty business, she said. Like what you ninjas do. It's just all fake and dirty. She looked Naruto over, as Naruto could see that she was really drunk. Hey, you want to know what it's like to be with a movie star, she asked. As Naruto looked at the bartender who was cleaning his glasses, as he was watching the dialogue between them, the amused grin. First of all, I don't really hook up with drunk women as a bylaw. And second, you wouldn't know what you're getting yourself into. Now let's go. Sandia is waiting, and I'm sure he's pretty upset by now. All he's worried about is me and his meal ticket. Let someone else play Princess Gale, she said, slurring her words. I'm not going to the land of snow no matter what you say. Another actress can take my role. Naruto sat down. You're Ran, he said. Get me a quick shot. Top, shelf, stuff if you will. Oh, so you're quitting and let me do what I want. That's good. You're even drinking with me. That's even more good, she said. Nah, not really, Naruto said as he took the shot and drank it. Just ready to get myself bitched out for what I'm about to do. Before she could ask, he sunched and appeared behind her as he hit her right in the neck and grabbed her before she could fall. As Naruto pulled out the money and dropped on the counter. Later, Ran, I'll probably be right back here after the mission is over, so I'll see you soon enough. True to his previous thoughts, Naruto was chewed out. Well, mostly by Sakura, who refrained from trying to do anything too really aggressive. He outranked her, and because the last time she tried he one-shot her. And Sandia, who almost fainted seeing the actress out cold. As they went off, they arrived on the boat, as Naruto had to carry Yuki, as he dropped her on the bed. As Naruto then noticed something, a shimmer. No. Wait, it's been 10 years since I saw that. Wait, holy shit, he said. 10 years ago, Naruto was 5, as he was sent on a reconnaissance mission to the land of snow by Danzo to gather information on the country, as Danzo knew that there was some espionage being stirred up underneath the court, so he wanted to see if it was actual, as he sent Naruto there to gather information. Shortly after getting there, Naruto found himself in an attack, as an entire force started to attack the capital, a new small village called Yukigakure, as they started to attack the guards of the daimyo. As Naruto stayed hidden in the shadows and watched everything, as he was making his way out, he saw Kakashi, the copy ninja, as he was driving a sled with a girl at least 4 years older than Naruto, as he had some pursuers behind him. As Naruto had two options here: let himself get discovered, or either allow Kakashi to die. And the girl he was protecting, Kakashi was too good of a ninja and valuable to Konoha to die. And also, this mission would cause economical failure for Konoha for years to come, if the girl died. As Naruto put on a white mask over his face and jumped in the center, right as Kakashi went off, as he stopped right in front of the force that were chasing Kakashi, as he went through hand sign, wind style, divine fist of the wind god, the force and the speed that they were moving in. They felt like they hit into a brick wall as all of them were killed on contact. But Naruto noticed as one of them had jumped off. He descended towards Naruto and tried to crush Naruto under his heel, because he was that much taller. As Naruto looked the man over, he had a strange forehead protector like the second Hokage, as he had the insignia of Yukigakure, and his grey hair was in a ponytail, and an odd set of armor. The man laughed. So this is what they sent to protect the princess. A baby ninja and the copy ninja Kakashi. But you allowed Kakashi and the princess to escape. When I returned with your head, Dodo, Sama, will reward me a lot. As Naruto wasn't that good this time. Yeah, he was just starting out. After all, he was 5 years old. As he slowly pulled the tanto off his back. As Naruto leaped forward, but the man blocked it with a kunai. You're just a little brat playing ninja. Get that useless toy out of my face, the man said. As Naruto felt himself being pushed back. As he realized that the man had strength over him by far. When the man simply held his sword off with one hand and grabbed Naruto by his shirt and smashed him into an ice wall. Naruto picked himself up, but the man kicked him right in the face, knocked his mask off. As the man leaped towards him to stab at him with the kunai, Naruto tried to block it, but the man was just more powerful and stabbed him right in his side. Well, that was better than his heart. As he gasped in pain as blood started to flow on the ground. You ignorant runt. Do you really think you could kill Nadir, Roga, and the finest ninja that Yuki Kakor has to offer? Well then, if you're best in the village that you have there, you're lucky I fought you instead of Hatake, because I'm only 5. The man stepped forward with rage. I can't die now. Not on my first mission. Do you want to live, boy? What? You heard me. Do you want to live? As Naruto looked, there was no one else around. But he then remembered what Danzo told him, that the fox that attacked the village was sealed inside him by the 4th Hokage. Danzo said that he could use it as a weapon, but he had never heard anything until now. Can you give me enough power to survive this, Naruto asked. Give you a small amount of power to survive. Why not take enough just to wipe this human off the face of the earth? Very well. I shall give you enough to stay alive. An orange aura started to generate off of Naruto as a wound, completely faded away. As Nadir came at him, when Naruto blocked his kunai, Nadir was shocked because of the strength the kid was now showing. As Naruto thrust out his hand, Nadir tried to dodge, but Naruto was just that fast now. As he slashed Nadir in the face with his claws and kicked him away. Naruto didn't stay around to survey his damage as he took off. End of the flashback. Ah, good times. Naruto heard the Kyuubi said in his head as Naruto had wandered out to the deck as it was now nighttime on the ship. I wonder what's going on, Naruto said. I can see why she doesn't want to go back after everything that happened and forced her away, but still. It's just for the movie. Once the movie is done, she can leave. As long as no one recognizes her, she should be fine. Who will be fine? Naruto turned and saw Tenten walking up to him. You've been out here for a while. Man, don't worry about it, Naruto said. Oh, and in case anything go down, you're second in command. Tenten blinked as she narrowed her eyes. This isn't a way for you to get on my good side, isn't it? Is it working? He asked. He then got serious. No. It has to be you. You have more experience than Sakura. And while Sai have more experience, he's not the one for leading squads, if you get my drift. And where are the both of them anyway? He asked. Below deck, me and Sakura was talking the film Clue. Sai went off on his own, writing stuff in a notebook. He's kind of odd, isn't he? Well, everyone's got quirks. At least he isn't ranting about youth or fate. Tenten nodded as there was silence between them. So, you said that we were going to talk later. It's later now, isn't it? It is, he said. Okay then, you want to talk? Go ahead and fire away, Tenten-chan. And I'll answer what I can. Tenten looked at him. You had sex with that haywire girl next door to you. Yeah, she wanted it and I didn't back down. It's sex. And once you get past the attitude and swearing, she's kind of hot. And I would do it again too. I care about her a lot. Tenten frowned. And Himako? Your assistant? Helper? What is she? Well, assistant sound good. He said a small chuckle, even though he always said that she's more than that to him. But it could be changed to girlfriend now. Well, if she has anything to say to it. You did it with her as well? No, I haven't, Naruto said. Well, not yet at least. I care about her a lot as well. She's the only link to my family and clan. And I'm the same to her. I would never leave her alone after what she told me. She told me that she loved me. Not like a brother. Not like a benefactor. She legit loved me. He noticed Tenten looked down in defeat. And she isn't the only one. So you finally got it, didn't you? Said Tenten. Yeah. Temari-chan does too. Yuji-chan as well. And so do you. Wait, there are other girls? Said Tenten. Yeah, it's just as weird to me as it is to you. Yuji is from Kumo though. I swear, I'm not trying to do this stuff. It just happens when I go places. I don't want to hurt you or any of these women. But how can I pick? So, the only one you have is Himako for sure, right? Said Tenten. Since she's bonded to your clan no matter what. As Naruto nodded, Tenten moved forward and kissed him on the cheek. So then, I better get myself into gear and put my name into consideration, shouldn't I? What? Naruto said. Well, you just said that you don't really have a girlfriend. You're still on the market as far as I'm concerned. I'm not dropping this. You will be mine, count on it. As Tenten stood up and walked back inside. Wait a minute. What the hell just happened, Naruto said. As Kyuubi laughed. For just a powerful human, you surely are whipped by the females, boy. As Naruto was about to say, wait, did you just admit that I'm one of the most powerful people in the world? No, the Kyuubi stopped laughing as he was stuttering. Shut up, kid, he said. As Naruto laughed, aw, I love you too, Kyuubi. I see that you're one just big fluffy ball. I can't wait to eat you, he said. As Naruto simply chuckled. But guys, will be any steps right here. Remember to go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto was given a second chance over on Anime King. And enjoy that, guys. And stay in tune for What If Naruto was raised by the Hyuga clan and enjoyed it as well. And also I posted a new episode of What If Naruto. Learn the clone secret in the beginning. So go ahead and enjoy it as well. But for now, I'm out of here. See you guys soon. Peace.